Yes. So very simple fundamental thing which I am telling you. It is a hard reality, but it is reality. Fact is fact. Nobody can change it. So before I start up with this today's class, give me 15 minutes of time so that I can tell you what exactly is required at the student ends to be executed whenever it at least it comes to his education. And I'm telling you this not as a guru or a Parvachan Gyani or somebody who is lecturing you. I'm telling you this as your friend. I'm telling you this because I've got little more experience than you. I'm telling you this because I've seen those examinations better than you. I've appeared for those examinations every 6 months. Okay, for continuously 5 years of my life. So that's why I'm telling you I know better, little better than what your understanding would be. Academic exams, college exams, university exams, you'll get through whether you study or not, or whether you have basic knowledge, that you will get through. There is no problem with that. But the things comes when it comes to competitive exams, professional exams, because they're actually your what should I say? Your caliber is tested, your capability is tested. So the objective of the exam is not to just to test you. Okay, are you good at mugging up things? Are you good at memorizing things? They also test you. Are you able to analyze the things? Are you able to understand something which is not given in the book? So that is a little difference which you have from any other exam which you appear in your regular schooling and colleges, apart from the professional exam which is happening, and that is very much required also. Yes. So if you have to do some value addition to your own self, so you should have a good mechanism to test yourself. And that is why institute, you have to give them at least an appreciation in this regard. They might be slow in doing it, but at least they are doing it, right? So because I've seen the course curriculum of CS, at least CA, CS, CMA, from 2008 till today. So almost roughly I have seen 14, 15 years of course curriculum. So I know what has changed over this period and how it is going to change even further, right? So 2008 there was one course which is called PE1, PE2, then they introduced something called as IPCC, then they introduced something called as CA Inter, and now again it will be a revised one. So they have taken some time, but at least they are doing it. So how they are trying to evolve their candidates, their students, so they are basically moving toward more of an analytical part, more of an part wherein they will be able to test you in uh, the practical way rather than all theoretical way. They will be able to test you in an environment which you will be more employable. What is the basic difference what when it comes to academic and professional? Even though you would have scored 95, 99, 100% in your BCom, I don't think so still you will be employable. Yes, I believe you understand the word employable, that you might not have that employability skills. Obviously there are good number of students or good number of people. I have seen one person in my life who was the partner of a very big consultancy firm, and he was only a BCom qualified. So there are people who have done wonders with their simple qualifications also. But if you have chosen a path of a professional, so you should also get that value addition of being a professional. That is only my objective to tell you here, right? Keeping that in mind, as a student, what you are supposed to do, at least from your examination perspective, the first hard reality is no coaching institute, no faculty can get you past the exam until unless you put your effort. That is a hard reality. If you just solely go, oh, this faculty, we have got a very high passing rate, passing percentages, it is not only because he is teaching well, right? Before COVID, I have got a passing of 21 students out of 24 students which were there in the class. So इससे ज्यादा better passing rate कहाँ मिलेगा आपको? But still I am telling you myself that it was not only because of me, it was only because I was able to more motivate the students in order to put their efforts. Simple. It is very simple. Until unless you put your side efforts, how much ever efforts I put you, it will not going to sail your boat through the ocean. So that is the simple understanding. More than 50% of the knowledge, more than 50% of your requirements cannot be met by coaching or by classes. It is always less than or maximum equal to 50% only. So where is that balance 50% is going to come? So that is going to be there from your efforts only. That is going to be there only from your efforts only. I was not that fortunate enough, so I have to put all my efforts in most of the cases, right, when I was putting all my exams. But it actually helped me, because I was actually, what material I had in order to study, only institute study material. You don't have clarity in reading it out. I'm talking 2010 2011. So what do? You do your own searching on understanding, scouting for people who can at least tell you that one particular topic. So that way we learned. Okay, it worked out in my manner. I understood how it will work out. I scored 444 out of 700 in CA IPCC. That was, it was 700 marks. So that was okay with me. I was in the top 10 of Hyderabad that time. So that was sufficient for me. But in your case, if you have to repeat something for yourself, if you have a higher aspiration of doing multiple courses, or at least even not if you go for a multiple course, this thing, if you have a higher aspiration of doing something unique in your life, it is very much required that you take the things in a manner it has to be taken, right? The approach of the subject, the way you should go forward it, how the basic concepts will play out, that all we are dealing with in the class. So what is left out for you to do? Practice. What is left out for you to do is to scan through the whole publications which are available on that particular topic. Okay, what is left out for you to do? Keep your moral always high. Once you're there in this class for 3.5 hours, your moral is very much high. But once you get out of this class, you have so many other people who are not that fortunate. Yes, so you go sit with them. They will have their negativity which will flow from them to you. So you have to avoid those things. So in that particular fashion, I'm telling you, 50% can come through knowledge and experiments, or this coaching part, but balance 50%, if you are not able to bring in on the table, then this journey is going to be hard. Then this journey is going to be hard. If you bring your 50% also, लिख के ले लो, writing में ले लो. Nobody in this world, think about, forget about failing, nobody in this world can stop you. That is a fundamental part. Okay. With this background, let us now start with our today's class, sir. And before I start with the today's class, only few things. What all you are supposed to study? You are supposed to study institute study material, institute past exams questions, right? Institute model exam questions, RTPs, right? Most of the things I'm anyhow taking up the few questions and putting up into my book, which or whichever is required for you to be dealt. But it is now your responsibility also to go back, spend at least an hour on the subject, check through your study material whether everything is covered, check through the study material, okay, anything additional could be done, and if you suppose get a doubt, come to me in the next class and get it clarified. Okay. One more advantage if you do this, whenever you start your revision for your exam, then you are not worried. Generally, if suppose you start your revision, what you will do? You will put this all the books as your revision per se. Then obviously already you have completed this. Then whether your revision will take very low time in order to complete, whether your confidence would be on all time high. So that is what it will help you out. Think long term. कल क्या करूंगी, कल क्या पहनूंगी, वो ठीक है. Short term planning is okay, but at the same point of time, if all your short term planning is not in line with your long term goal, then you are not going to reach anywhere. ठीक है. You can plan today this, tomorrow this, day after tomorrow this, day after tomorrow this, after a day after day after day you can plan it. But ultimately, are you moving ahead? Answer is no. So if you have projected a path for your own self, kindly plan your short term goals also, so that it goes one after the other. Take a step at a time, no problem, but at least take a step beyond the previous step. Do not start every time from an origin. Take a step beyond. Take smaller steps, no problem. Take as small as possible, no problem at all, but at least take a step forward. ठीक है? Chalo, with this we'll start with our uh, class portion today, sir. Let us start with question number 3A. Come down. X company has made plans for next year. It is estimated that the company will employ total assets of how much? 8 lakh rupees. 50% of the assets being financed by the borrowed capital at an interest rate of 8% per year. Okay? Can I make a small capital structure for you guys here? Answer 3A. I'm just writing it side by side. So what does he say? 8 lakh rupees he wants to invest. ठीक है? That 8 lakh rupees ka 50% is going to come from debt. And what would be the cost of the debt? At 8%. Right? I am reading out from the handout. Right? 50% of the assets being financed by borrowed capital at an interest rate of 8% per year. The direct cost for the year are estimated to be 4,80,000. So how much is my direct cost or direct expenses? 4,80,000. Right? And all other operating expenses are estimated at rupees 80,000. And other operating expenses, 80,000. Goods will be sold to customers at 150% of direct cost. Yes. So what is the selling price of this 150%? Of this, how much? 150%. So how much would be the, sorry, 7,20,000. So this is something which is projected. Tax rate is 50%. Right? Find out net profit margin, return on assets, asset turnover, and return on owner's equity. Are we all good here? Sir, now there are few items where the information is missing in the question. One valid point which you have already highlighted in the class. What about balance 50%? What about balance 50%? From where does this come from? Is it mentioned in the question? No. So, is there a scope for assumption? Is there a scope for assumption? So, what would be the first assumption you are going to put here? The balance 50% will be raised by equity. Yes, that is the safest assumption which you can do. Okay. Now he has asked us few answers, sir. What is my net profit margin? What is my return on asset? What is my asset turnover? What is my return on owner's equity? Are we all good? Before I start with all of that part, can I start making my income statement? Can I make my income statement? Yes. Yes. This is the given information. Let me start with my income statement. Done? Yes. So what is the first item which I should write in my income statement? Sales. So that comes to how much, dear? Then what should be my second item? Operating expense. That has been given as two part. That is direct expense. 4,80,000. Other operating. How much, dear? How much is my EBIT, or you can say call this as operating profit? Sorry. Very good. Do we have interest given here? 8% of how much? 4 lakhs. So this is my EBT. Do we have tax information in the question, dear? 'It should not be net operating, it is operating. Yes, 64,000. This is net. This is called net operating profit after tax, or you can also call this as PAT. Some places here the income statement is over. This is additional gyan, right? There is a terminology by name no PAT. Can somebody give an expansion of this? Net operating profit after tax, right? Net operating profit after tax. So what would be NOPAT? NOPAT calculation is not given in this question. Okay, maybe it is very rarely tested in your CA intercurriculum, but still for our safe side we are finding it out. Operating profit, we know, say revenue minus total operating cost, we get operating profit before interest and tax. So that means EBIT is my operating profit. So what is NOPAT? NOPAT is nothing but PAT plus interest. PAT plus, why? Interest is a non-operating expense. But if in order to find out the exact tax value, you have to first minus interest, correct? Yes or no? So that's why you minus interest, minus tax, and then add back the interest. So how much would be NOPAT here? 64,000 plus 32,000. So 96,000 is NOPAT. This is additional ज्ञान. Write down. यहाँ पे लिख लो. This is extra ज्ञान. Done. हिंदी में सही लिखा मैंने. चले. Now let us solve the problem. First bit. Net profit margin. Yes, can you somebody tell me the ratio for this? Is it cross hybrid, single hybrid? Yes. So first whatever first appears, that would be numerator divided by, because we need in percentage, multiply by 100. So how much is your net profit? Next one, dear. I know the denominator because this is what cross hybrid. This is what cross hybrid. Yes or no? Is it cross hybrid? Why? Return is a profit number or a PNL number, whereas assets is a balance sheet number. Again, PNL by balance sheet. The denominator, I already know what is the denominator here. Yes. What is the denominator? Assets. So what should be the numerator? Asset के against में कितना return आया ये बताओ. How much is the return which you have generated against? Simple, no? Yes. So how much is the return which you have generated against asset? That is nothing but operating profit. Yes. Correct. But one small understanding. When you generate return on assets, you get a return, that is operating profit, because interest is anyhow to be paid against the capital employed for the asset. So interest will not be reduced. But taxes, whether taxes are supposed to be reduced? Yes or no? So this number should be after taxes. So this number should be what, sir? After tax. Because both the numbers, numerator denominator, should be again either pre-tax or post-tax. First thing, 1,60,000 is the EBIT, that is operating profit. But whether the total 1,60,000 is available for the assets? No. You have to pay out certain taxes. Now, one more additional understanding. Sir, why are you not doing operating profit minus taxes? Because you have already calculated how much taxes are there. Exact number you have already calculated. That is somewhere around 64,000. Straight away minus 64,000. Now why you are taking 1 minus t? करेक्ट. सो एक छोटा सा कैलकुलेशन देखो यहाँ पे. हियर द न्यूमरेटर वुड बी 1,60,000 into 1 minus 0.5, that would be 80,000. Here the numerator would be 1,60,000 minus 64,000, that would be nothing but your notepad, that is 96,000. समझ में आया डिफरेंस? समझ में आया दोनों का डिफरेंस? समझ में आया नहीं आया? बोलो. Which is right, which is wrong? Both are right. Both are right. Ultimately, what is they have asked you to calculate? Return on asset. So how much is return on asset? 1,60,000 minus tax. In both the things you are doing minus tax. Why the answer is different in both the things? Only because of interest. In the first part, you assume irrespective of interest. Here you have encountered the tax shield on interest. That's it. Are we all good here? आर वी ऑल गुड हियर? सब देखो बच्चों, मैं आपको स्ट्रेट अवे नहीं समझा के ये कॉन्सेप्ट ये यहाँ का बोलता ही नहीं था. आई वुड नॉट हैव नेवर स्पोकन अबाउट द सेकंड लाइन. स्ट्रेट अवे आंसर दे देता, आप हैप्पीली लिख के घर पे जाके मौज करते थे. बट आई एम टेकिंग एन एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट टू टेल यू दिस. इंस्टीट्यूट की बुक में सीधा ये किया हुआ है, फर्स्ट वाला खत्म हो गया. इंस्टीट्यूट ने उसके आगे दिमाग ही नहीं लगाया मेरे को बच्चों को और कुछ भी देना है, बताना है, कुछ भी करना है. यस, मैं आपको उतना दिमाग लगा के बता रहा हूँ. ये क्या है? दिस इज विदाउट टैक्स शील्ड. How many of you know Captain America? Marvel movies, Captain America, तो you know ना? Yes. So this is without Captain America. This is with Captain America. Why Captain America is known for his shield? Okay, sir, not a Marvel fan. Okay, no problem. So this is with tax shield. Yes. So how much is a tax shield, sir? Tax shield is simple. Tax shield is simple. Tax shield calculation also you do it. How much is interest? 16,000 rupees is tax shield, and that is the exact difference between both the options. So hear me out first. समझ में आ गया? Why there is a difference? Are we comfortable? Why there is a difference? Are we comfortable? Yes or no? My objective is in twofold. First, understand what is the difference, then understand why is the difference. So what is clear with you? What is the difference is clear with you? This difference of tax shield. Tax shield is coming because of interest, and interest is like this. Okay. Now both the approaches are right. Both the approaches are perfectly right. Yes, in the first approach you assume that I am taking the return on asset as if the capital structure is neutral. Neutral means there is no benefit because of a capital structure. समझ में आया? The first benefit, first if you are solving the problem here, what you are assuming is capital structure is neutral. Yes. Why this is important? Suppose for an example, I need you to stop writing. बाबा मैं काम भाग के लेके जाऊंगा कि I would whether I'm going to clean this पहले सुन तो लो, समझ तो लो. Why this assumption is important? Why this assumption is important? All of you imagine yourself that you are on a discussion table on with an investor whether to invest money or not. ठीक है? And you are doing this calculation. Suppose if I invest in chairs, tables, whatnot equipments, so we will be making some return. So you are calculating this return on asset. So you are on a discussion table. अभी तक कुछ नहीं हुआ. On paper, it is only a discussion on paper. ठीक है? So when you are discussing on paper, so are you going to now investor would be, sir, Be neutral. Neutral means be completely unbiased. Do not try to assume extra or benefits which may or may not arise. Take care. Yes. So that's why he says this benefit of 16,000 may arise only because there is a tax law which allows interest to be deductible. So there are few things whether or not I might take loan for a buying asset. If suppose I don't take loan itself, there is no interest, no tax change. Second, even if I take loan, I pay interest. Government might change the law saying that I will not allow interest as a tax deductible expense. So you are not neutral when you are making a decision. You are not neutral. Suppose then only in order to increase your return on asset, you are taking all the benefits which is possible. Am I making sense? Then that is more aggressive way of valuing yourself. If you take neutral approach without taking most of the items, then it is this one. Are we all comfortable here? This is again extra gyan baji. Extra gyan hi hai, nothing is required. Otherwise, straight away you can solve it. Are we all good? Are we all good? Done? Sure? Right? Yes, by asset. So I am using the first approach which is given in ICAI book. ICAI has taken the first approach. They have never discussed the second approach altogether. The first approach says are we all good? Yes. Yes. This is all extra gyan which I have given you. Now you would have understood, sir. Extra gyan is you have taught us the concept of NOPAT. 96,000 which you are getting in the second one is nothing but NOPAT. That is NOPAT only, na? Closely see. Is that NOPAT? In the second approach, is it the NOPAT? So I have actually taught you the concept of NOPAT. Alright, and when NOPAT can be used. Got it? समझ में आया? ठीक है. Yes. Done. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any doubts? Sure. I would like to have doubts. क्या मैं इतना अच्छा पढ़ा रहा हूँ कि आपको डाउट्स ही नहीं आ रहे, या फिर मैं इतना बुरा पढ़ा रहा हूँ कि आपको कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रहा? ओके, ठीक है. कैन आई मूव ऑन? ठीक है, डन. थर्ड बिट सर, अगेन इट इज क्रॉस हाइब्रिड. How many of you know what is your turnover? 90%, or you can say 0.9. वेरी लो एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो. 8 लाख की एसेट करके 8 लाख का भाई सेल नहीं हो रहा. You have invested 8 lakh rupees worth of asset and still not able to generate a sales worth of 8 lakhs. Very bad. 0.9 times. Can we do the next one, sir? Return on equity. Yes. How much it is? What is return on equity? First of all, return on equity means the return which is available to equity. When we spoke about return on asset, the return which is available to the asset. So now earnings, yeah, earnings available to equity divided by, you can take owner's equity or whatever equity shareholders over. So what is the owner's equity here which is left out? 64,000, I believe. Yes. Of that, 50% of the total capital structure you took it from equity. Yes or no? That is 8 lakh, 4 lakhs. 64. Make a note. Make a note. Next question, dear. Ganpati Limited has furnished the following ratios and information relating for the year 31st March 2010. Sales 60 lakhs, return on net worth 25%, rate of income tax 50%, capital share capital to reserves 7 is to 3, current ratio 2, net profit to sales 6.25%, inventory turnover ratio based on cost of goods sold. Chalo, if suppose for an example they would have mentioned based on turnover, तो समझ में आता था चलो यार institute is asking us to take some different assumption than the regular one. In the previous problem, if you remember, have they mentioned to this one where we found out यहाँ पे stock turnover ratio was 8 times. If suppose they would have mentioned stock turnover ratio based on sales you take it, then we would be happy. Otherwise, we'll go by the basics one. What is the basic one? It should be based on COGS. तो ये basic है, आप नहीं बोलोगे तो भी लेंगे. Even if you don't tell me, we'll take it on COGS. Are we all good? Yes. That is 12. Cost of goods sold 18 lakh. Interest on debentures 60,000. Sundry debtors 2 lakhs, sundry creditor 2 lakh. Calculate the operating expenses for the year. Prepare the balance sheet with this format. So already format also they have designed and gave it to us. Are we all good? Okay. Are we all good? Now, before I start on to this problem, obviously this is also goes like a single entry problem. How many of you remember single entry accounting? Remember single entry? So single entry accounting was my most favorite topic. You know why? Because it was like a maze. You have to find out which number to which number, which number to which number, which number to which number, which number to which number. The ratios are also more or less the same. So here they have given you sales, they have given you cost of goods sold. You already know the profit, right? Yes or no? Then they have given you certain net profit के लिए numbers also. Return on net worth 25%, that is earnings available to equity. Net worth is earning available to equity, right or not? Yes. Net worth के लिए you want to find out what? Share capital. Share capital would be suppose say 100 rupees. Of that 100, 70 rupees is equity, 30 rupees is reserve, because the share capital to reserve ratio is 7 is to 3. Correct? So likewise, if you keep on doing it, so one number will lead to the another would lead to another would lead to another. So it is like a maze. Are we all good? Okay, let's solve this problem. Answer 3B. Let us first make the first bit first. Calculation of yes, is the net profit number given to you, dear? Is the net profit number given to us? They gave us sale, they gave us net profit to sales. Yes or no? So can I say net profit is nothing but sales into net profit percentage, or you can say net profit ratio. Yeah. So how much it will be? 60 lakh into, so that is how much, my dear? So I have got a net profit of 3 lakh 75,000. Is there any income tax information given? I am doing the income statement in the reverse order. That's it. Because they are asking us to find out operating expense. Is there any income tax information given, sir? So income tax is the immediate preceding item of net profit. So when we less and come to net profit, if we add it, we'll go to before tax number. So how much it is? 50% of what? EBT. Correct? So it means 50% of X. X ka 50% is the EBT. Right? What if I do? I will find it out, sir. Simple na, sir. 50% after reducing it, right? ठीक है. So it should be how much? It should be how much? 1 by, that is EBT, or whatever you want. It should be 1 by net profit. Oh, sorry. then income tax should be net profit. ठीक है? You are supposed to find out net profit. How would you find out net profit? EBT minus, एक second, EBT minus tax is equal to net profit, right? You don't know EBT. I know this X. This would be 0.5x, right? So this will be 3,75,000, right? So it is nothing but what, sir? X is equal to 3,75,000 divided by 0.5. Yes. So again, what would be my EBT then? 7,50,000. So automatically this can be calculated as a balancing figure, that is again 3,75,000. This calculation I need not show in the exam. You can straight away find it out. I, as well as I know, if the 50% is the tax, then the net answer is also 50%. So 50% ka 50% same answer, you can write it down. Why I've intentionally shown you this calculation is so that no doubts are left out. So this would be my earnings. What you should add again is the interest information given to you. Is straight away the number is given, or are we supposed to do a calculation? Yes, number itself is directly given, so that is, so that is my EBIT, or I can say this as operating profit. Is it okay? Yes. Is it okay? Up to EBIT we have found out. Is my answer complete, or do I have to do something additional now? What we are supposed to find out? Expense. ठीक है ना? So expense कैसे निकलेगा sir? Expense simply sales, एक बार just write, let us write down sales minus COGS, ठीक है, minus operating expense is equal to EBIT. Yes or no? Sales minus COGS minus operating expense is equal to EBIT. Let us rewrite this as sales minus COGS minus EBIT is equal to operating expense. So sales 60 lakhs minus 18 lakhs minus 8 lakh 10,000 is equal to how much, dear? Done? They have given us a specified format of balance sheet, yes or no? They have given us a specified format of balance sheet. I am just writing out that format. It's a set. current asset, in that again stock, done. Can we start? Yes, write down first working note. So presentation wise, again I'm telling you, on the first second page, this is how the presentation should be. For balance sheet, you have to make working notes that should come subsequently. Working note. What is the first working note we can take, sir? Can I take first working note based on return to net worth? Because we have written. Do we have return on net worth? Yes. What they said, sir, return on net worth is 25%. So can I say 0.25 is equal to EAT for owner divided by share capital plus reserves and surplus. Can I do this? Yes, no. Yes. So that means we have this numerator, that is 0.25 is equal to how much, my dear? 3,75,000 divided by, I'm just rewriting this as net worth. So how much is my net worth? 15 lakhs. Or can I say share capital plus reserves and surplus is equal to 15 lakhs. Can I additionally say, this is my first working note, matter over. Second working note. Can I additionally tell that share capital divided by reserves and surplus is equal to 7 by 3? So that means share capital is equal to yes, substitute this number in the equation 1. If suppose this is equation 2 in equation 1, मैथ क्लास की याद आ गई होगी आपको. Yes, so that is what 7 by 3 surplus plus reserves and surplus is equal to Yes. Anyway, you can do it. I understood. Is it okay? Yes. Okay. I actually complicated it. Or let us do it this way. I'm just redoing it. There is nothing, no harm. Only thing is this problem is going to get lengthier if you do it. Simple calculation में share capital plus reserves and surplus would be 10, right? So this should be share capital, that is 7, divided by share capital plus reserves and surplus would be equal to 10. ठीक है? Are we able to relate numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator? Already denominator one number we have it here, that is share capital is equal to 7 by 10 by 15 lakhs. ठीक है? Then share capital is equal to 7 by 10 into 15 lakhs. So that is share capital is how much? 10 lakh 50,000. Similarly, same, this is equation 1. Make one more equation. This is equation 2. Done. Let us go back to our balance sheet here. Substitute the numbers. Working note number 2, from 2 it is coming. Both the numbers are coming from 2. 10 lakh 50,000 and 4 lakh 50,000. Yes, for debentures I am going to solve it in working note number 3. Interest number is already given to you guys, 60,000. Now the percentage is also given to you, that is 15%. So interest divided by the percentage will give you the amount. Yes. Working note number 3. Interest is equal to debenture into interest rate. Now interest amount divided by interest rate is equal to debenture. So that is 60,000 divided by 0.15 is equal to 4. Yes, take it above. Done. Can we come up, update the number here in the balance sheet? 4 lakh. Yes. Any other ratio which can help us? Payables are already given to us. 2 lakhs is given to us. Are we able to complete our liability side here? 15 plus 6, 21 lakhs is my liability side. Now we know once liability would be equal to assets. Yes or no? So this is a given number, right? Now once we get the liabilities, do we have current asset ratio in order to find out current assets total? Yes. Yes. How much it is, guys? 2. So working note number 4, current assets divided by current liability is equal to 2. Current assets is equal to 2 into current liabilities, which in our case is 2 lakhs. So my total current assets are only 4 lakhs. Whatever the total will come, that would be 4 lakhs. If the current assets is 4 lakhs out of 21 lakh, then can I find out fixed asset as a balancing figure? That would be how much? 17 lakhs. Write down. Write down. Current assets 4 lakh, fixed assets we have found out 17 lakhs. Now is the answer over? They are also asking us to find out the bifurcation of stock, receivables and cash, right? And they have given one formula also, one ratio which is related to stock, that is inventory turnover ratio. Yes, what is inventory turnover ratio is 12. So COGS by inventory. Done. Given receivable is directly given 2 lakhs. ठीक है, बैलेंस शीट में कैश का नंबर बैलेंसिंग फिगर से निकाल लेंगे. Oh, very good. So stock, working note number 5, right? This is given. So this cash would be balancing figure, that is 50,000. Done. Sure. Simple. Done. Write it down, sir. Write it down. Done. Okay, guys, let's come to the next problem. 4a, Noor Limited provides the following information for the year ended 31st March 2014. Equity capital 25 lakhs, closing stock 6 lakhs, stock turnover is 5 times. Gross profit ratio 25%, net profit 20%. Then net profit by capital is 1/4. That means net profit is 1/4 of the capital. You are required to prepare trading and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2014. Can we do it? I believe we can do it here itself. Question 4b. Sorry, 4a. Question 4a. Simple? Yes. Tell me, how should I start? First thing, what should I do? I should make a trading and profit and loss account. Once I make this account, tell me what all the items would be included in this. Closing stock, opening stock, then can I say cost of goods sold, or you can rather say purchases. Then you will come to something called as gross profit, right? Or you might have some direct expenses, which put together you can call it as cost of goods sold. Yes. So because there is no information which is directly related to expenses and purchases, can I say cost of goods sold? Once we find this, then we'll take gross profit here. Then come here, what all we'll have? Other operating expenses. And then we have net profit. Are we all good? Are we all good? Let us do working notes. First working note first. Have they given net profit to capital as 1/4? So in that case, net profit by capital, or you can say capital, if I just take it this side, if I just take this capital this side, it will be share capital by 4. So can I say 25 lakhs divided by 4, that is 6,25,000 as my net profit. Done. Working note number 1, 6,25,000 we have got. Done. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay. What is the next number we can find out? He says net profit by sale is equal to 20%. Is it given? Yes or no? So can I again say net profit by 20% is equal to sales? So that means sales is equal to 6,25,000 divided by 2. That means it is how much? 31 lakh. Is my sales. Before I jump on to my P&L to update this number, let me also find out one more number, that is gross profit. So gross profit is 25% of sales. So that is 25% of 31 lakh 25,000. Please tell me the number, guys. 7 lakh is my GP. Let us take all this number above. From here we are getting with working note number 2, 31 lakh 25,000. With working note number 3, we are getting 7 lakh 81,250. Am I correct? Sir, please. Is it okay so far? Go the easiest manner. I know what your mind is saying. Why don't we first use closing stock? अरे जब easy numbers दिए हुए हैं क्यों आराम से पहले कर तो लो यार, शांत तो रखो, राइट? यस, नहीं सर अभी नाउ वी आर प्रो, सीधा हार्ड लेवल से स्टार्ट करना है, इजी लेवल क्या बच्चा? यस, सो व्हाट इज माय बैलेंसिंग फिगर? Other operating expense can be a balancing figure na, because this will be brought forward, or you can say 781 250 will come, and how much this would be? Ab, why I have not started with closing stock, to tell you, even though suppose in exam you don't know the closing stock, still if you do this much, 50% of the problem is done. Don't leave the question in the examination scenario. That is the basic objective. This 3 working notes anybody can do. So that is why I am telling you, boss, don't leave the problem, start solving it, you will get an answer. Are we all good here, guys? Are we all good here? Yes. Now this person is saying, sir, stock closing stock तो given है, दे दो, डाल दो ना. ठीक है भैया, ले डाल दे. अब तो सिर्फ 2 ही नंबर बाकी बच गए. There are only 2 numbers which are left out. Yes. Are we all good, sir? Guys, I need answer, yes, no. Pretty simple. Anybody can solve this problem. If this problem will come for 6 marks, at least 3 to 4 marks, anybody will get it without using the formula of stock turnover ratio. Yes or no? Yes. And in the whole question, I believe there is only one information which we have not used so far. That is stock turnover ratio. Done. Is it the time to use it? Yes, it is the time to use it. Stock turnover ratio, what it is? Again, cross hybrid. So turnover on cost basis divided by average stock. आप खुद ही ने उंगली की ना कि सर ओपनिंग क्लोजिंग लेंगे. Yes, you yourself tickled me. So then here the value can be closing stock or average stock. Then average stock only na. Yes or no? Are we all good? Stock turnover ratio is given to us 5. LHS is available to us. Turnover on cost basis, can we find out? Yes sir, that is also known to us. How? So sales of 31 lakh 25,000 minus 25%, that is gross profit. So automatically I will find out what? Cost on goods sold basis divided by average stock, right? First find out how much is the number. Yes. What is the cost of goods sold? 31 lakhs minus 25%. 7. divided by 5. 4 lakh. Yes. So average stock is nothing but opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2 is equal to 468 750. So please solve this. Opening stock is equal to 468 750 into 2 minus 6 lakhs. How much? Please substitute. Yeah, this one. 26 lakhs. Is this? ठीक है. So now we should not name this as COGS then, because it will include everything. We'll call this purchases balancing figure, because COGS is opening stock was a calculation you have to do. So we don't have that calculation के लिए tools. We just straight away took it. COGS. So 2937. 337500 plus how much you have got? 26 2606250 minus 6 lakhs. Please solve this one. 337500 plus 2606250 minus 6 lakhs. How much it is? Perfect answer है. मजा आ गया. Because COGS, this is nothing but the formula of COGS. What is COGS formula? COGS is equal to opening plus purchases minus closing. Oh, so proud of you. So that would be done. First make a note of this working note, then I will take you on the this side, on the P&L side. Done. Done, sir. Done. Let us come to the solutions part. Is it also done? For the period ended You should write it completely, sir. In the question it is given for the period ended. Done? Can I move on? You need further time? Done, sir? हो गया? Next problem. 4b. Same. BRA Limited has provided the following information for the year ended 31st March 2015. Debt equity ratio 2 is to 1, 14% long term debt 50 lakh, gross profit ratio 50%, return on equity 50%, income tax rate 35%, capital turnover ratio or capital turnover rate is 1.2 times. Opening stock is given to you as 4,50,000. Closing stock is 8% of sales. So many numbers are based on sales. So if we are able to crack the number of amount of sale, then we are through. Are we all good? Are we all good? Again, he has asked us to calculate trading and profit and loss account. Done? Want to try? Again, past exam question, IPCC level ki questions was little tougher. Right? 2 minutes, try it out. What should be the first working note? Okay, very good. So we can find out the capital using the debt equity ratio. How come, sir? Sir, debt amount is already given to you. Yes or no? Debt amount is already given to you. How much it is? 50 lakhs. Can you see this? Right? Very good. Very good. So once you find out debt, then you will find out equity, then you will find out total capital, and then you have capital turnover, then you will find out sales, and then it is a cakewalk. Yes, 2 minutes. Try solving it. Let's see how many of you are able to go through, pass through. Four C. Again, presentation should be perfect. So trading and profit and loss account for the year ended. Are we all good? Yes. Are we all good? So obviously, what would be the format? Sales, opening stock, purchases, another expense, closing stock, gross profit, again gross profit brought down, then interest, other operating expense, tax, then you'll have net profit. Sorry, sorry. Huh. Return available to the equity divided by the total equity, owner's equity. You're finding out the equity number already. Huh? Should I start? Would you help me in doing it? Yes, guys, please help me in doing it. Yes, first working note should be what? Tell me, guys, working notes. What is working note number one? Yes, debt equity is equal to 2 by 1. So debt is already given to you as 50 lakhs. That is already given. You are assuming there is no short term debt because they say long term debt is 50 lakhs and there is no information on short term debt, so say 2 by 1. So how much would be my equity, my dear friends? Equity is how much? 25 lakhs. Are we all good? Yes. Second, have they given return on equity? Have they given return on equity how much it is? So that means net profit available to equity after tax, there is no preference dividend, is how much? 25 lakhs into 0.5, so that is how much? 12 lakh. Twelve lakh 50,000. Working note number 2. Done, sir? Yes. First number, have we found out? Is he also asking us to make balance sheet? No, balance sheet is not required. Straight away. Are we all good here? Yes. Can we here itself, can we make interest calculation? That is 50 lakhs into 14%. That would be 7 lakhs. There is no separate working note itself is required. Correct. Now tax is also given to you as 35%. Tax is also given to you as 35%. Yes or no? Can I find out my tax number as well? I have 12 lakh 50,000 after tax. Therefore, working note number 3. Tax rate is 35%, right? So that means net profit, right? Or you can say, correct, net profit into tax rate is equal to tax amount. Are we all good? So net profit is how much, my dear friends? 12,50,000. Oh, sorry, net profit before taxes. Before taxes. My mistake. Correct. So how much is net profit before taxes? Yes. Then तो ये आएगा नहीं. हाँ. So if net profit before tax, if suppose say is 100 minus tax 35, then the net profit is how much? Is 65, correct? Now please see here, this 65 is 12,50,000. Yes or no? Please do a cross multiply, you will find out this number. Simple. So 12,50,000 into 35 divided by 65. How much is the tax amount? Right? If you want to cross check, please cross check. Add this to, right? On this apply 35%, you will find out 12,50,000 as an answer. Correct? Yes, this is working note number 3. Done? Yes. What did the tax amount? That is how much? Can I find out other operating expense as a balancing figure? No, not yet. Why? Gross profit is not there. Okay. In order to find out gross profit, what we should have? Sales. So capital turnover ratio. So can I find out sales? Working note number 4. Capital turnover ratio. that is sales by total capital, that is equity plus debt. How much they have given is equal to 1.2. So that means sales is equal to 1.2 into 75 lakhs. So that means sales is equal to 90 lakhs. If that has been there, then gross profit is equal to, how much is the gross profit percentage? 30. So minus, oh sorry, into 30%. How much would be my gross profit? Can I update the numbers here? Working note number 5, right? Gross profit. And this is working note number 4, that is sales. 90 lakhs. Gross profit is how much? Done. Opening stock is given to you already. That is 4 lakh 50,000. And with this 27 lakhs of gross profit, you can also balancing figure, you can find out other operating expenses. Can somebody please help me out? 20 lakhs minus 76,000, 923. Done, guys. Now the only one resort which is left out, stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio, that is stock by COGS by stock. So that is how we have to do it. Do we have stock turnover ratio given? No sir, we are not been given. So what we have been given, closing stock is 8% of sales. ये तो जैकपॉट है, सिंपली हो गया ये तो. कितना हुआ? 7,20,000. So balancing figure में this will come 65 lakh thousand. Done. Enjoy. So this is my complete P&L account. Sorry sir. Yeah. Any doubts? Should I scroll down anywhere if you have to copy down the working notes? This is 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and then this is 4, 5. And let's move on. Fifth question. Sorry, 4C question. ठीक है. This is a little important problem, sir, because this has been also tested not only in your past exam question, this is also CMA exam question. ठीक है. So those who are doing CMA, this question might you might find it familiar. ठीक है. Write down, sir. Let's go through the question once. Following accounting information and financial ratios of PQR Limited relates to the year ended 31st December 2006 are given as below. Accounting information: gross profit 15% of sales, net profit 8% of sales. Raw material consumed 20% of work cost, direct wages 10% of work cost, stock of raw material 3 months usage. That means he's talking about operating cycle. Yes or no? Is he talking about operating cycle? 3-month usage stock is available with him, right? Yes. Stock of finished goods 6% of works cost. Okay. If that's why this is a CMA level problem, because works cost is something a costing terminology. How many of you have known paper 3 cost accounting? So there is a format called cost sheet. There you have this work cost. Yes, prime cost, then factory cost. Yes, you remember that. So that terminology work cost is taken here. We as a financial manager will not get into that detail. So debt collection period 60 days, all sales are on credit. Financials ratio: fixed asset to sales, fixed asset to current financial ratio fixed asset to sales 1 is to 3, fixed assets to current asset 13 is to 11, current ratio 2 is to 1, long term loans to current liability 2 is to 1, capital to reserves and surplus 1 is to 4. If the value of fixed assets as on 31st December 2005 amounted to 26 lakhs, prepare a summarized profit and loss account for the year ended 31st December 2006 and the balance sheet of 31st December 2006. Okay? Are we all good? Are we all good? So fixed asset number he has already given, that is 26 lakhs. With that you can find out sales, with that you can find out current assets, and with the current assets you can find out current liabilities, and with the current liabilities you can find out long term loans, and with the long term loans you will find out the total balance amount as a balancing figure of capital. Is the balance sheet here itself you can make. Balance sheet part here itself you can make. Can I make a chain? Yes. See, look at the chain. सॉल्विंग कोई भी कर सकता है, उसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, राइट. सी हियर, फर्स्ट फिक्स असेट्स टू व्हाट? करंट असेट्स. करंट असेट्स टू करंट लाइबिलिटी. करंट लाइबिलिटी टू, yes, long term liability, or you can say non current liability, right? And then you will find out this capital as a balancing figure. Balance sheet is done or not? Just here itself. Now second series will start. Fixed asset to sales, you can also find out fixed asset to sales, right guys? Yes or no? Now from sales you can find out xyz things. You can find out gross profit, net profit. Yes, you will have gp, you will have np. Yes, and when you have gp and np you will also have cogs, because sales minus gp is cogs, cost of goods sold. Correct? Yes. Once you have cost of goods sold, then you have your stocks. For that stock calculation you will take direct wages. So you will take cost of goods sold, you will break it up, you will find out your stock. Once you find out your stock, then you will be able to bifurcate your current assets. And for the debtors, he was given you debtor receivable number, so you will find out debtors also. And after finding out stock and debtor, anything, the difference between total current assets minus stock debtor, you will have a cash balance, that you can find out balancing figure. Before you see anything, you make a picture in your mind. Same thing, before you start solving a problem, make a picture in your mind, how are you supposed to solve the problem. Yes or no? So that picturization should start in your mind. Give 30 seconds, I'm not asking more, give 30 seconds. Your flow would be unbreakable. That 30 seconds if which you devote on the question before you start solving it, that 30 seconds will help you save at least 5 to 6 minutes when you are solving the question, because automatically your things will start falling in place. Are we all good with this, guys? Are we all good with this, guys? Let's start. First let me complete balance sheet part or P&L part. You tell me which one you want me to complete. Yes. First thing first, what we have taught you, make the format first. Okay. Here, format making itself is a good challenging part. Tell me why. Format may, if you see this number is required, then you have to put that number. No? So in the format, see, there is so many things which you can understand, analyze. यहाँ पे I actually do not give importance to maths part. ठीक है? Maths is the most important item. I'm not giving import. I give lot of importance to math subject, but here understanding is not of the calculation. Understanding is more of a how do we present and how do we approach. So now if you make a format, in the format itself, if you give what all the number you are supposed to say, suppose stock of raw material. He has given you one ratio stock of raw material. So in the format of trading PNL itself, you will say closing stock bifurcation, stock of raw material, finished goods, other stock. So once you start solving your working notes, automatic working note, you know which working note where to go, which working note where to go. So that approach should be very crystal clear in your mind. Write down, sir. Trading and profit and loss account for year ended December 2006. Now you have to tell me, so what all the numbers should I write here? What all the numbers should I write here? Tell me. Sales. Should I write sales? Should I write to direct material? Look at the question and tell me. Just look at the question. What all the information he has given you in relation to direct wages, to I can write overhead, or that I know would be other operating cost or other production cost. That is other production cost. Yes. Then ultimately what I will have to gross profit. Yes. Obviously, then you will have other operating expense. You can say to selling, distribution, other operating expense. Yes. And then ultimately you'll have to net profit. Are we all good here? Yes. Are we all good here? Can we make a format of balance sheet also? Okay. First item obviously is fixed asset. Then second item obviously would be, then you will have stock of RM, stock of FG, then you will have receivables, and then you will have cash. Here you might have a total. Similarly, you'll have current liabilities. Long term loans. Reserves and surplus. Share capital. Done. Is this the format correct? Now let's start solving it. Fixed asset number is given to us, that is at 26 lakh, right? Working notes. Now help me out. Now I need your help. Yes. First item first. Fixed assets to current assets. How much it is? Sorry. 13 is to 11, right? So that means current assets 11 into 26 lakhs divided by 13. Yeah, tell me the number. Current assets would be 22 lakhs. First working note. Second, let me just make the whole balance sheet and only then I will go to the balance sheet and update my overall number. ठीक है? From current assets, can we find out current liability? Current asset ratio is given to you, sir. Current assets by current liabilities is equal to 2. So that means your current liabilities so that is my second item. Third item or third working note, long term loans. Long term loan by current liabilities is equal to 2. So that means your long term loans are 2 into 11 lakhs. Done. Yes. Can I move to balance sheet? Substitute all the numbers at once, right? The total of current assets all put together would be how much? 22 lakhs. Refer working note number 2. Now here working note number 3, current liabilities is 11 lakhs, and here working note number 4, right? No, here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, is 22 lakhs. Now this put together, both balancing figure, tell me how much it is. So asset side total is 48 lakhs So the liability side total would be also 48 lakhs. Of that 48 lakhs, 33 lakhs is already encountered. 15 lakhs is my total net worth. I can say this as net worth, right? Should I focus on now bifurcating the balance numbers? That is, equity is how much, reserves and surplus is how much, stock of raw material and all other stuff. Okay. First number which I should focus on getting on the bifurcation of stock, capital and reserves and surplus. Are we all good? So that is fourth item. So what does this say, sir? Share capital by reserves and surplus is equal to 1 by 4. So that means share capital is equal to 4 into reserves and surplus, 4 times of reserves and surplus, right? Oh, उल्टा लिख दिया क्या? is reserves and surplus divided by 4. This is equation 1 for an example. Share capital plus reserves and surplus is equal to 15 lakh is equation 2. That's just now we calculated net worth is equal to 15 lakhs. So net worth is nothing but equity plus reserves. So substituting this in this, equation 1 in equation 2, share capital plus share capital by 4, oh sorry, reserves and surplus plus divided by 4 plus reserves and surplus is equal to 15 lakhs. Solve this. We'll find out. So that is equal to 5 reserves and surplus is equal to 15 lakh into 4. So that is nothing but reserves and surplus is 12 lakhs. Then automatically share capital is 12 lakhs divided by 4, that is 3 lakhs, right? This is share capital reserves and surplus का note. Done. Done, right? Can we now focus more on P&L now? I can just come up and update this numbers. Can I more focus on P&L now? This is a past profit making entity, that's why they have good amount of reserves and surplus. Now can I focus on P&L now, please? So what is the first item which I can calculate in P&L, and what is the first item which I should calculate? Sales. Fixed assets to sales is given to us. So that would be my working note number 5. Yes, working note number 5, right? Yes, 5. Fixed assets to sales. This is not a ratio. You don't use cross hybrid because they specifically mention fixed assets by sales is 1 by 3, right? So you should not come to me saying, sir, variable to constant, so balance sheet should be denominator, because this is not a ratio. First of all, they have mentioned as an equation, right? So my sales would be 26 lakhs into 3, 78 lakhs. So let me just not jump onto P&L to update one number. Let me find out other numbers also which we can do, right? Yes, raw material consumption and direct wages. Can I find out? Yes. Now, one small information or thing you tell me, sir. What is works cost? Works cost is nothing but production cost, no? Yes. So in my case, what would be my works cost? Tell me. Work cost would be sales minus GP. Yes, like cost of goods produced or cost of goods sold. Here they are using at the worst cost. So I will say that the cost of goods produced, that is work cost. So what is my sales here? 78 lakhs. Is my gross profit percentage given to us? 15%. Please tell me how much is my works cost? What is the significance of finding out this works cost? Very good. To find out all the bifurcation, I need this. Yes. Yes. Can I do further also? What is my stock of finished goods? Is it given 6%? Very good. What is the stock of finished goods, sir? Finished goods is equal to 66 lakh 30,000. 8th. What is my raw material consumption? Is that also I can find out? That is how much, sir? 20% of works cost. That is nothing but 20% into 66 lakh 30,000. That would be 13 lakh 6,000. Similarly, direct wages also I can find out. That is how much, sir? So that is stock of raw material. Can we find out? It is mentioned it is of 3 months usage. What is the total annual usage? So that means it should be annual usage of the raw material into 3 by 12. That should be the stock ना 3 महीने का stock लेके चल रहे हैं. So that should be how much? What is my annual usage? 13 lakh 26,000 is my annual usage into 3 by 12. So how much would be my stock of raw material currently? Please give me the number, dear. 3 lakh 31,500. Please make all the working notes. Then I will go to P&L and update everything. Okay. What is the change which I have done from previous year to this previous problem to this problem? I'm not going item by item up and changing it. I'm just doing it as and when it is. Most numbers are available, right? Can you similarly also find out stock of finished goods as you have found a stock of raw material? Oh, we have already found. Okay. So then in the balance sheet also we have stock number. If we find out debtors number, then our balance sheet will also be completed. Is there a way to find out debtor number? Is there a way to find out debtor number? They have mentioned all sales are credit sales. They mentioned it? That means total 78 lakhs is there. Have they given any ratio related to debtors? Debt collection period is given. Yes, we know how to use debt collection period, debtors collection period. Yes. Should we solve that also and then go above? Right? If you have made a working note here, then only I will start. Take 2 minutes of time. Is it done? Is it done? Are we all good? Okay. Just one more working note, that is 11th working note, debtor collection. Calculation of receivables. Calculation of receivables. So what they have given, debt receivable collection period they were given. Tell me, how should we calculate receivable collection period? We already discussed yesterday that are by sales, that is credit sales obviously, into period. Period is given in days or months. So let us take 365. So how much is debtor? We don't know. Collection period is given as how much? 60 days. 60 by 365, right? By debtor into total sales are credit sales, that is 78 lakhs. Solve this equation, you will have debtors. Tell me the numbers. 78 lakhs into 60 divided by 365. 12 lakh. Very good. 12 lakh 82 192 is my debtors. Right? Make a note. Let us update all balance sheet, P&L, everything. Should I go above? Should I go up? Hmm? Let me write item by item. First item here. Stock of stock of raw material. How much we have calculated here? 3,31,500. Stock of finished goods. How much we have calculated? 3,97,800. How much debtors we have calculated just now? How much then would be the balancing figure? 1 lakh 58. This finished goods is which working note? Working note number 9. Can you tell me the working note number? and raw material 10. Okay, our balance sheet is complete. 50% of the marks we have got it. Whatever the weightage of this problem is, 50% we have got it as soon as we completed the balance sheet. Let us also go here, sir. Now sales 78 lakhs we already know. Working note number, please help me out with the working note number. 5. Very good. Cost of direct material, total cost of direct material, sorry, working note number 13 lakh 26,000 you have got some total cost now, which is working note number 8, that is 13 lakh 26,000. Direct wages ka working note number 9, so how much is, then we have the total of all this is 66 lakh 30,000. Yes or no? Total of worst cost, that's why I have not written closing stock and opening stock here. Understand my part, why I am not written, because I have taken COGS now, almost COGS only we have taken. Yes, so that's why I have not written it here. That's why if you see my P&L also, because I have to calculate work cost, what is the other item I have written? Selling and distribution, because that will not be part of the cost of goods sold. So tell me, sir, how much it will be? Balancing figure 46 lakh. Now how much would be my gross profit here, sir? Sorry, 11 lakh 70,000. So here 11 lakh 70,000. Is net profit 8% of sales? So 78 lakhs into 6% is how much? I'm not making any working note for this. So I know it will be 11 lakh 70,000 minus 624. What would be my other cost? So this is again a balancing figure 5 lakh. Enjoy. Khatam. At least 10-12 marks problem. Yes, write down, sir. Take a pic. Okay, same exercise we are going to do as we did it for leverages. We are going to open up multiple papers and see how the things will roll out. Let us see the first oldest RTP which I have got it. I actually do not want to go beyond 3 or 4 this thing, because going that old will not give us the fruitful result. See, this first question itself is of ratios. Following information has been gathered from the books of CRAM Limited for the year ended 31st March 2021. Equity shares is trading at 28. Matlab current market price is how much? 28. Market price is relevant only for one ratio, which is called PE ratio, price earning ratio, price divided by earning per share. Equity share capital face value rupees 20, that is 20 lakhs. 10% preference share capital 4 lakhs, reserves and surplus 16 lakhs, 12.5% debentures 12 lakhs, and profit before interest and tax for the year is 8 lakhs. So you have got the EBIT, right? Are we all good? Calculate the following when the company falls within the 25% tax bracket, right? Return on capital employed. Can we easily find out return on capital employed? Yes. What? How would we find out return on capital employed? So return is already there, that is 8 lakhs. So that is for the total capital, obviously, yes sir, including debt and equity, right? Yes, are we all good? So on that 8 lakhs, what we should divide by total capital. So total capital is debt plus reserves and surplus plus 4 lakhs plus 20 lakhs. So this total, so 20 plus 4, 24 lakhs plus 28 lakhs automotive. So it will be how much? 28 plus 20, 52 lakhs. So 8 lakhs divided by 52 lakhs would be your return on capital. Are we all good? Earning per share 8 lakhs minus debenture interest 12 lakhs into 12.5%, then minus tax, you will get your profit available for after tax, then minus preference dividend, right? Preference dividend is also there 10%, that is minus 40,000. Then you will find one number that is called earning available for the equity share. Your preference shares are also there. That divided by number of shares, that is how much? 20 lakhs divided by 20. So that is 1 lakh shares. So whatever number comes, that will be EPS. Simple. P ratio 28 rupees is your market price divided by the answer which you have got in the second bit, that is P ratio, that is EPS. 28 divided by EPS, you will have your P ratio. Got it? Simple. You can do it. Done. Any doubts? Very simple to do. Sorry. This is a RTP. They will not allocate marks in the RTP. But generally, with my experience, I can say it will be at least 6 marks, 2 marks for each bit, or at least 4 marks. Okay. Right? Next question. I should have first opened May 21. Again, ratios is the first question again. Fixed asset, they have given 5.2 crores, current liability 4.68 crores, current asset 7.8 crores, right? So almost balance sheet is available with you. Okay. Sales is there 23 crores, EBIT is 2.3, that is 10% of sales. Company issues equity funds of 5 crores in the next year. So next year 5 more crores are coming through equity. It is also considering a debt alternative of 3.32 crores for financing the assets. So either I will raise total 5 crores through equity, or alternative means or I am taking an alternative. Two options are available. Either take total through equity, or I will take it through equity and debt. If I take it through equity and debt, how much would be debt? 3.32. How much would be equity? 1.68. Yes, the same problem we have done that 8 lakhs, 8 lakhs are 4 lakhs and balance total equity. We have done that. Yes. Now the company wants to adopt one of the policy. They have two policies. One, if I take debt, comprehensive policy 12%, 1.08 long. So first policy is short term debt. I will take at 12%, right? And then there are three approaches: conservative approach, moderate approach, and aggressive approach. Similarly, I will have one more policy wherein I can get a long term debt of 16%, where my conservative, again under three approaches, the three different items are given to us. Okay. Let's see how we will do it. Assume the corporate tax rate of 30%. Calculate the following for each of the financing option: return on total asset, रिटर्न ऑन ईच ऑफ द फाइनेंसिंग पॉलिसी, मतलब ईच पॉलिसी के अंदर आपको दोनों को निकालना है, राइट? व्हाट इज द फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसी? फर्स्ट फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसी कंजर्वेटिव, सेकंड फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसी मॉडरेट, थर्ड फाइनेंशियल पॉलिसी एग्रेसिव, राइट? इन द थ्री पॉलिसीज अंडर टू डिफरेंट रेट्स, राइट? सो इन ऑर्डर टू फाइंड आउट रिटर्न ऑन टोटल एसेट कितने बार आएगा, एक रिटर्न ऑफ टोटल एसेट के 6 आंसर आएंगे. वन अंडर 12% 3 times, one under 16% 3 times. Then same thing for return on owner's equity, net worth capital, and current ratio. This kind of problems are there in capital structure chapter. This kind of problems are there in capital structure cycle. So this is kind of an hybrid. They have where they have omitted capital structure and they have created as a ratio. Okay, we'll do this problem in the class because I can see that people are finding it confusing. We'll do this problem in the class. Before I start doing this problem in class, let me see what all the other problems we can find out which we are not able to just do it verbally. Okay. So now let us see May 22. Again you have ratios problem. First one, FM Limited is in a competitive market, matlab perfect competition market, where every company offers credit to maintain the competition. FM Limited sold all its goods on credit and simultaneously received the goods on credit. So he's buying on credit, selling on credit. The company provides the following information for the current year. Debtor velocity, that means debtor collection. Kitna hai? 3 months. Right? Creditor velocity, that is 2 months. Then again you have stock turnover ratio on cost of goods sold basis 1.5. Fixed asset turnover ratio on cost of goods sold basis. Fixed asset turnover on COGS basis specifically mentioned. So what you will do, COGS by fixed assets you will do 4. Profit ratio 25%. Bills receivable is nothing but debtors, that is 75,000. Bills payable is nothing like a creditor, so that is 30,000. Gross profit 12 lakhs. FM Limited has a tendency to maintain an extra stock of 30,000 at the end of the period than the beginning. Matlab opening stock, whatever is the opening stock is, plus 30,000 will be the closing stock. Got my point? They maintain 30,000 extra at the end as compared to the beginning. So you will find out one average stock you have to find out stock turnover you will find average stock. So average stock formula would be like this: x plus 30,000 divided by 2 is equal to average stock. Got my point? Got my point? So opening stock, if you take it as x, closing you have to take x plus 30,000. Got it? Simple. Then sales and cost of goods sold, easily you can find out. How you will find out sales and closing stock, sir? Please tell me. Yes, please tell me, sir, how would you find out sales and closing stock? Gross profit value is given 12 lakhs. Gross profit percentage is given 25%. So 12 lakhs divided by 25%, you will get 48 lakhs sales. Of that 48 lakh sales, may say minus 25%, you will have 36 lakhs as cost of goods sold. Once you have 36 lakh cost of goods sold, then you have stock turnover ratio. You will find out average stock. Then on that average stock, you will apply x plus 30,000 divided by 2. You will find out opening and closing stock. Right? So third bit also you will do. Then again you have this sundry creditors. Sundry creditors is based on what? Purchases. Right? Again, cost of goods sold only you have to take. Then you will find out creditors, and then again fixed asset sales basis you will also find out fixed asset. Simple problem. Okay. Still, if you want to practice at home. Answers in RTPs will be given at the bottom, so you know that. One problem so far we are supposed to do additional in the class. Right? Let us see the question paper. We have to identify which is a ratios problem. So this is a great policy, receivable management. This is MM approach, PV ratio, ADR, RADR approach, dividend policy problem. So cost of capital. Yeah. Following information relating. This is a ratios problem. Masco Limited has furnished the following data. This is a past exam question. Question paper itself I have opened. Masco Limited has furnished the following ratios and information relating to the year ended, relating for the year ended 31st March 2021. Whichever attempt you are writing, the year will change. If you are writing 2026 paper, the year will be 2025 in the examination. Sales 75 lakhs, return on net worth 25%. Okay, right? So rate of income tax 50%. Capital, share capital to reserve 6:4, current ratio 2.5, net profit to sales 6.5%. Right? Sales is given to you. Can you find out the net profit? 6.5. Once you have this tax, only the numbers have changed. The similar problem we have done in the exam, in the classroom. Inventory turnover based on cost of goods 12, cost of goods 22 lakh 50,000, interest on debenture 75,000, receivables including debtors is 1,25,000. That means total receivable is bills receivable plus debtors is 2 lakhs. Payable 2,50,000. Bank overdraft is also a current liability, so that is 1,50,000. Prepare an operating expenses. Find out operating expense. Have it in this problem, and then balance sheet. Yes, simple problem. Now this problem has come for 10 marks. Here it is. मैं कुछ झूठ नहीं बोल रहा, देख लो भाई. क्वेश्चन पेपर ही खोल के दिखाया सीधा. सर आपको क्या हम हाउ शुड आई ट्रस्ट यू? दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन पेपर. दिस इज अ क्वेश्चन पेपर. Same operating expense he has asked you to find. You know now how to find operating expense. Balance sheet 10 mark. 10 leverage, 10 operating ratios. 20 out of 60, one third of the portion is over. हाँ 10 का leverage किया ना, इसी पेपर में leverage का problem 10 मार्क है. अच्छा इसके ऊपर वाला है क्या? The fifth, okay. Third and fifth, ये ना leverages. ये रहा ईपीएस ऑपरेटिंग फाइनेंशियल, कितने मार्क्स? 10 मार्क्स, 1/3 हो गया। ये अटेम्प्ट मैंने क्यों नहीं लिखा? ठीक है, राइट, वन मोर पेपर विल सी। I believe this is a ratios problem. Following are the data, again 10 marks का है. Following are the data in respect of ABC Industries for the year ended 31st March 2021. Debt to total asset. Debt to total asset 0.4. Long term debts to equity 30%. Right? Long term debts to equity is how much? 30%. 0.3. Gross profit margin 20%. Accounts receivable period 36 days. That means debtor collection cycle is 36 days. Quick ratio, that is current assets minus stock divided by current liabilities, is equal to 0.9. Done, right? Inventory holding period 55 days. Yesterday we have seen that video. Holding period of inventory we have calculated of that lady 384 days. So here inventory holding is 55 days. Cost of goods sold 64 lakhs. Again equity capital they have already mentioned in the question of 20 lakhs. Total liabilities is also mentioned in the question of 50 lakhs. क्वेश्चन में है वो, right? Yes or no? Now please tell me how would you solve? Total equity is given 20 lakhs, right? Yes, long term debt to equity ratio also you can use. And before I suggest you to use this, complete the balance sheet of ABC Industries of 31st March, all calculation to nearest rupees and assume a year to be 360. Don't take 365, he clearly mentioned take 360. So numbers will not go point decimals, so take it 360. Okay, tell me how do you solve it? Cost of goods sold is there with you 64 lakhs. Gross profit margin is there 20%. So can you tell me sales number? Cost of goods sold कितना है? 64 lakhs divided by 0.8. Why? 64 lakhs is for 0.8, right? So you will get sales number. Once you get your sales number, what are the other numbers which are based on sales? You got gross margin, equity, debt to total assets. Okay, first can we find out debt to total assets? Total assets is equal to total liability 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs to how much is total assets? 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs ka 40%, 0.4 is how much? 40%. 50 lakhs 40% is how much? 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs would be my long term debts. 20 lakhs would be my long term debt. So I have written long term debt 20 lakhs. Yes or no? Right, guys, are we all good here? Debt to total asset 50 lakhs, uska 40%. Now we have equity 20, long term debt 20, 40 lakhs aa gaya. Balance 10 lakhs is required. Two more items are there, one is current liabilities, one is reserves and surplus. Can we use long term debt to equity? Long term debt to equity, how much he says? How much he says? Long term debts to equity is how much? 30%, right? So long term debt is how much? 20 lakhs. So how much is equity? Long term debt to equity ratio 20 lakhs is my long term debt. How much it will be? ये रॉन्ग है, ये फिर इसका मतलब डेट टर्न एसेट टर्न. लेट मी सी दी सजेस्टेड आंसर. या फिर वो डेट टू टोटल एसेट्स इज इंक्लूडिंग करंट लायबिलिटीज. एक बार देख लेते हैं, कुछ ना कुछ तो गड़बड़ है इसमें. सेम प्रॉब्लम ना, यही है ना प्रॉब्लम? हाँ ठीक है. फर्स्ट क्या किया? टोटल एसेट्स इक्वल टू टोटल लायबिलिटी 50 lakhs, हमने भी वही बोला था. देन उसके बाद डेट टू टोटल एसेट्स 50 lakhs, तो डेट ही सेज 20 lakhs, ये भी हमने ही बोला था. डेट टोटल 20 lakhs आ गया. टोटल लायबिलिटीज 50 lakhs, इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल प्लस रिजर्व्स प्लस डेट इज इक्वल टू 50 lakhs. करेक्ट. Oh, that means he is including payable also as a debt amount. Payable को भी debt में डाला ना, यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन पेपर में देखो. Accounts payable is there. So accounts payable, including accounts payable, long term debt, total accounts payable debt, long term debt, total put together, he is taking 20 lakhs. Okay. So now what he says, equity share capital plus reserves plus debt is equal to how much? 50 lakhs. So now the reserves would be how much? 50 lakhs minus equity share capital minus debt. So reserves and surplus is how much? 10 lakhs. So 20 lakhs of debt is including long term debt and accounts payable. Are we all good? एक छोटा सा, what is the assumption? Even we would not have made assumption. Whenever we take debt, we'll take debt as, but where it clicked, it could be wrong. Once we used that as a long term debt and used into the formula called debt to equity 30%, there the number went more than 50 lakhs. So that is not possible in any which case. So that's why our head started and we thought there is something wrong, and then we found out the assumption here is accounts payable plus long term debt is taken as total debts. समझ में आया? आपके सामने इंस्टीट्यूट का सजेस्टेड आंसर है, मैंने नहीं बनाया, ये सजेस्टेड आंसर मेरा नहीं है बाबा, इंस्टीट्यूट का है, क्वेश्चन पेपर भी इंस्टीट्यूट का है, मेरा नहीं है. करेक्ट? आर वी ऑल गुड? यस. सो यू हैव गॉट दिस. नाउ लॉन्ग टर्म डेट, स्टार मार्क डाला इसने भाई साहब ने, स्टार मार्क का आंसर भी दिया है. Equity shareholder funds represent the equity in long-term debt to equity ratio. The question can be solved assuming only share capital as equity. क्या घटिया लोग है साले. इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर बोलना था ना, फिर क्या बच्चे को कंफ्यूज करते एग्जामिनेशन में. सी assumption, he has written an assumption which he could have actually given in the question paper only. You see, I mean, यहाँ पे star mark. See, look at the star mark. The whole problem, as the first student from here who was sitting, you told ना sir पहले debt equity, long term debt to equity use करते हैं. I told you no, we will not use. Why? I know. ये जो equity जो बोल रहा है, equity should be equity plus reserves. But if you take equity plus reserves, neither you know reserves nor you know long term debt. So if in a equation two numbers are missing, then you cannot solve. Only if one number is missing, then you can solve. So that's why I was not using long term debt as a first ratio. I used that as a second step after finding out debt number. देखिए, look at the cleverness. So there is a scope for an assumption in the problem. What are the two assumptions are taken in this problem? First, debt accounts payable is included as debt. Second, long term debt to equity ratio में equity is only equity share capital, not reserves. These are the two assumptions which I have not taken. ICI has taken. If you don't take this assumption, you will not be able to solve the question, because abhi how we got a calculation error, same calculation errors you will get it. Got my point? Now let's solve this problem. Long term debt to total equity shareholder, that is 20 lakh plus 30 lakhs 30%, उसने ऐसे करके ले लिया, ऐसे 9 lakhs निकाल दिया. अगर सिर्फ 20 lakhs लेगा तो फिर आंसर फिर से चेंज हो जाएगा. तो टोटल इक्विटी जो आई आपकी, अकाउंट्स पेबल 20 lakhs minus 9 lakhs 11 lakhs. ठीक है? So this is a difference. So this is a difference. Can you solve the problem? Otherwise, if you don't include accounts payable as a debt, you will not be able to solve. There would be a calculation error, because the total asset, so total of a balance sheet is 50 lakhs. So 50 lakhs divided by 0.3 करोगे, so that should be 1 second. Total long term debts, you can, if you take total long term debts as 20 lakhs and then divide by 0.3, then equity would be 66 lakhs, which is not possible because the total liability side itself is 50 lakhs. So that's why now the long term debt is only 9 lakhs. So 9 lakhs divided by 0.3 if you do, then you will get 30 lakhs, that is equity plus capital. Further you can assume that I am only referring to equity, then the number will become only 20 lakhs and reserves and surplus will become 0. समझे? There are two ways of doing it based on the assumption which you take. That's why he has written equity shareholder fund represent equity in long term debts to equity ratio. The question can be solved assuming only share capital as equity. He said you can rework the whole problem assuming the share capital as equity. ठीक है? Confusions are there with institute only. The confusions are there. It is obviously he can more give a clarity to the student because it is for them life and death का मामला आप लोगों के लिए. तो ठीक है. So then after that the problem is simple. Once you get account payable, gross profit, sales आ गया, sales के बाद inventory turnover, inventory receivable, data, quick asset से you find out stock, and then you make this balance sheet. Yes, are we all good? Done, sir. We'll end our class today. First problem which we'll do in tomorrow's class is that RTP problem of conservative moderate, and then we'll start with the next topic. Thank you so much. Bye.